Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a new moon in Virgo reading for you. This is the first of two new moons in Virgo. This first one on the 21st, approximately of August, is in 0 degrees, which means that your planets are its cusp energy. And is partaking of some of the powerful sun and self-liberation energy of Leo. The second new moon will be in September and will be in the last degrees of Virgo. So this is a special time. The next new moon will be a solar eclipse. So more about that next month. But it is impacting Virgos in particular in a profound way regarding and amplifying some of your natural characteristics around sorting, naming, discerning, describing with words the focus that you are now prioritizing. And for the overall energy, you have the Devil card. This feels very freighted with a story about your life's trajectory to date. It is a confirmation that many Virgos have done well in a particular area, activity, profession, and have achieved some modicum of success by following the rules and staying loyal to the organizations or institutions that have supported their work. This is calling out something very different, which is asking you, Virgo, to the degree that you are attached to the materialistic rewards or the material rewards of your success, the rewards of your status or authority, how they are perhaps limiting your ability to find a more complete or whole alignment throughout your life in other areas. Are there dependencies that you're encouraging? Are you dependent on others for emotional or personal fulfillment in a way that you ordinarily don't make time for? So I do feel this is feeling like what we often call a Saturn return, where you have an opportunity to reckon your accomplishments, your limitations at various stages of life. So this is indicating to me that there's a potential of transcendence that you are encountering at this time. Underneath the deck, the 10 of vessels, the 10 of cups, seems to be saying that you have everything that you have ever desired is in your life now. You partake of a myriad of resources that revolve around the collective sharing of resources. We often look at this as a happy, fulfilled life, but it is actually more than that. It is about how we receive divine order in our social lives, how we organize our relationships, our community, our family around supporting and helping one another. This idea that we are consciously partaking in a collaborative opportunity or experiment in our collectives, in our communities. And it suggests that even if every desire is not fulfilled, the makings for any level of accomplishment, achievement, or resourcefulness is at your fingertips, is available to you in the present now. So it's interesting, there's almost a dynamic between being in the present, enjoying the privilege and abundance of your present life, and your onward quest for more authority, more stability, more rewards that you are balancing. How does one experience support the other. And I'm going to pull a flora and fauna of Africa for a little woo. I'm going to take what's on top, and it is the lobster, and the key word is release. So this is very interesting, given the energy of the new moon in Virgo. Your sign is suggesting that as we sort and describe the way that we are integrating our thoughts and our desires by focusing on what is leading to our highest service and expression of service to the collective, we are at the same time releasing those things that don't serve us, don't lead to our greatest opportunity for service. And remember, Virgo, you are the sign of service, dedication, loyalty, details, making sure that everyone has enough. The lobster card reads, explore your deepest emotions. Vulnerability leads to new experiences and understanding. Really, really interesting to me. Okay, I'm going to leave that there and invite you to this meditation. This is a general reading. It isn't going to resonate for all of you. If it doesn't resonate, or you're feeling yourself frustrated or even angry, please check your other placements. And you will find messages that resonate for you there. Having said that, in your 10th house, this is your social identity, the way others see you, the way you contribute to the community. The Two of Columns, the Two of Wands, indicates that you indeed are established in your expertise, your strongest, best strength. You know who you are and what you do well. But it's become so routine, excuse me, so commonplace, almost as though you're in some kind of a rut. You are looking for a way to switch that up. It feels to me at this stage, showing up in this place, that you've already enacted a plan to break up this routine, break up the familiar procedural flow of your activity. And in that way, you are taking a step. You're risking something known and comfortable towards something that is a little less comfortable for you. And that is absolutely, positively a good thing. Making yourself uncomfortable is precisely what you need to disrupt this attachment to certain kinds of power or knowledge that you hold. In the first house, the World card indicates more of a confirmation that you are ending one particular journey, affiliation with an organization, a location, perhaps a team, in order, and you're receiving acknowledgement, rewards, and recognition for that journey ending. But you're aware it's in preparation for this new way that you're challenging yourself in a less comfortable, less familiar setting. It's not that you're necessarily doing something drastically different. For some of you, you are, but it feels as though you're reaching out into uncharted territory in a familiar field. And this is key because I believe for many of you, this is the journey and destination that you have been developing yourself and your skills for. This opportunity to break out into some original direction that is marked, perhaps that is spearheaded by you, but certainly spearheaded with people that you're in greater alignment with. It almost feels as though it's answering something that was left unanswered or unaddressed in your former activity. In the fourth house, the house of your soul, your family, even your home, the Five of Vessels is the Five of Cups in other decks. This is describing your ability to identify a pattern that has left you feeling unfulfilled, unsuccessful, unhappy, recognizing ultimately your role in making choices repeatedly that led to the same undesirable outcomes that you've experienced repeatedly. So here, your failures or disappointments have weighed on you. Perhaps this is something you only allow yourself to experience when you're alone or with your family, however that's defined. But that's where apparently the lack is in this otherwise very successful external experience that you're having. And it is that personal experience that feels empty and that has required you, in order to recognize the pattern, to build a stronger relationship with yourself. Lacking those partners, friendships, or foundational family structure has been absent. You have learned to, or are learning to, uh, build a relationship with yourself, and in particular, the self that desires, that wants more, that wants happiness, that wants contentment, that wants satisfaction and an opportunity to build a meaningful or significant relationship in your life. So this is actually opportunity for you to release the sadness of unfulfilled relationships, opportunities, um, disappointments, failures. In the seventh house of significant relationships, we have the Empress. Lovely. This tells me that there is a beloved. If that beloved does not already exist in your consciousness, then it exists in your desire state. This is the match, the perfect balance, the perfect mirror of someone who is competent as yourself, someone who can work with you, understands what the larger picture, the greater goal is, finds the same satisfaction and purpose in working for the benefit of humankind or for the community in some way. Also, this is someone who is completely accepting of themselves, and in that way is accepting of you and understands how similar your journeys have been. So this is a self-made person. This is someone who has gone through their own trials, but is essentially a creative. And I believe that this creative energy, power they possess, is what is the element that is you are desiring as the support you need at this particular leg of your journey. You're looking to imbue your own creative talent, your own creative persona into the work that you've done, to give it personal relevance and significance is important. Again, if this reading resonates for you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of you who support me in whatever way you do. It's important to me that I grow my channel so that more people can enjoy my readings. So thank you in advance. I'm going to begin clarifying from the World card in the first house. 2 cards, please. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords and the 10 of Wands. Interesting. I love that your curiosity precedes you. This plan, this desire to break up the routine, to put an extra spin on your achievements, to be open to new ideas and alternative ways of doing what you do, is accompanied and made space for by this release of some of the burdens you've carried to date. It appears as though you have broken through many of the conventions, traditions, barriers of your profession or whatever activity that you're engaged in order to uh, achieve the recognition and authority that you've gained. And yet you recognize that you've been carrying more than your fair share of burdens. And that can be in the way that you address your service, your work, taking on the struggles of perhaps an entire group or speaking for an entire culture or heritage, however that resonates for you. But you are understanding that you cannot move if you're still carrying obligations that really are not specific to you. They're things you were told and conditioned were a part of your responsibility, and you've already addressed it, you've already fulfilled those duties, and so it's time to release them. It's as though you're coming into a new stage of your life or your career where things must be done that satisfy you. You must allow yourself to be challenged by the opportunity and the power that you have to move into new directions. In the fourth house, the Five of Vessels is clarified by the Five of Swords, and I saw the Nine of Cups first, but I'll take both of these because they're both interesting cards. So the Five of Vessels, the Four of Swords came out first, and this for me is addressing any kind of insecurities that you have successfully masked. I think you keep your home sacred. For many of you, you work in the home, and so at least in part, and so it isn't until we're in our own sanctuary that we allow ourselves to mull over the ways in which uh, our interactions with others have not been satisfying, have not been fair, have been unkind, that have been cutting, that have called uh, our work, our ideas into question. And that question becomes internalized, even if you are resisting that. But it shows me that despite your, it appears to be very masterful way of handling your responsibilities, you are deeply affected by the lack of consideration, the lack of support that those who criticize you or uh, don't take you seriously or dismiss your hard work is something that affects you deeply and has contributed to the sense of regret and remorse. It also shows with the Eight of Cups that you are anxious to move away from a setting, a home, an environment where you're feeling the sense of isolation, criticism, dismissal, discredit. And you are anxious instead to move to a place where you have built up your courage and confidence because of the support you have received, so that you're ready to face a challenge of greater significance to you. The Nine of Cups is this beautiful way in which you are owning your own process. You see your efforts being satisfying to you. You have followed a very deliberate and methodical process, to be expected of a Virgo, and you have been honest at every step of the way about your intentions, your challenge, your goals, and you feel that wherever they brought you has brought you a tremendous amount of personal satisfaction. There's almost a pride, but it's a little short of that. It's more like this wonderful glow of contentment of all the ways in which you've been able to have an impact in your particular arena. In the 7th house, the Empress is clarified by the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. So, yes, you have been very good, increasingly good at moving away distractions, particularly those relationships or those connections that are overly demanding, that you have often to comply to out of habit, out of expectation of others, but that you recognize actually take away from your ability to do the work that's meaningful to you. Because the work that's meaningful to you now is building a legacy. And this is about the acknowledgement of your access to ancient wisdom, your acknowledgement of generational harm that you are able to assuage in some way through your generosity, your ability to give back, your desire to model success for others, and basic, deep awareness of your privilege. This privilege is honoring the inheritance that you have received, either physical inheritance for some, but as much this is about ancestral heritage, wisdom, cultural heritage that you are lifting up, that you are retooling, passing through, passing on for future generations. So whatever you're doing is clearly designed to support those generations coming up to understand the resources, the power that is already part of their experience, cultural experience. This also feels like a way in which you are reckoning with your vast privilege as positively as possible. You're looking at your authority to enact more opportunities, to access wisdom that has been, in many cases, erased or obliterated. And you're curious about how to codify this knowledge and information for people moving forward. And it feels as though you are developing a partnership or partnerships, collaborations to this end. And that can be where the soul connection, the soul bonds are arising for you, people with similar or aligned expertise who understand your goals and are able and willing to work with you towards those ends. In the 10th house, we have the 2 of columns, the 2 of wands, clarified by the Justice card and the Judgment card. Wow. So this is the risk. I feel like no wonder there's a way in which you have always been seeking truth and thus judgment in the work that you do, whatever work that is. The idea that something has been earned, there is a record of achievements that have not been acknowledged, and your work is in part a response to an understanding that part of your purpose, part of your mission in life is about gaining justice for a particular group of people, a particular way of living, way of understanding the world, a way of integrating trauma into the story of success. So this is also, as well, an opportunity for you to reconnect. A second chance feels very intimate with regard to this mission. This is a connection to opportunities or relationships that have once opened you up or possibly shown you the alliances necessary in doing this work. And in the past, it was difficult to make those choices. There was so much fear that overtook you in the prospect of uniting in a powerful way with others towards the ends that you now see as within your grasp. But this time, those partnerships, those relationships, even that personal soul bond that would partner with you in life is available to you at some level. It's not necessarily the same people, obviously not the same opportunities even, but the likelihood of your openness and willingness to be vulnerable in the way that you are required to take this risk. You're now ready to do that. I'm going to finish up this reading with a seed and sickle oracle card and pull this one. And I have the henbane. Number 51 reduces to a 6, which is the number of the lovers. So definitely a choice, definitely serious soul bonds here. And I specifically am not using the word soulmate, twin flame, none of that. I think that's a real, basically a flattening out of a much more complex dynamic of the myriad soul bonds that we have in our lives. 51, henbane. In ancient Greece, the bodies of the dead would be crowned with chaplets of henbane flowers to wear on their journey down the river Styx, a final link between their past lives and the new one awaiting them. Whatever your destination, you're on the final stretch. Your goal is so close that you know the way with your eyes closed. Wear your crown. Move forwards. The river will take you there. It's beautiful. If you've enjoyed this content, there's more content here for you to check out. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. And until next time, Virgo, namaste.